The best piece of advice that I can give is if you feel like something's going on with your child, bring them in for an assessment. The earlier you can get it figured out, the earlier the intervention can start, and actually the shorter amount of time the intervention needs to occur. So parents worry about their child being stigmatized with a label or a diagnosis. And I understand, again, speaking as a parent that has a child with that label, I understand how that label can follow a child around. But let's say that label gets placed at the age of 2, and you start doing everything that you're supposed to provide services for your child. By the time your child is 5 or 6, I've seen that label be removed. And same thing in Illinois. When I was working in Chicago, there was a child that we were working with that by the time he was entering, and we got him a little bit later, we got him in 2nd grade, but by the time he was entering 4th or 5th, we were asking that label be removed from his IEP. So it was no longer an autism diagnosis on his IEP, it was something else. And so just because that label starts doesn't mean that label's permanent. And that's the great thing about kids, is they're always changing. And it's the cool thing about what I do and why I encourage annual assessments, is because kids can make so much progress in a year that if they catch up with their peers, don't need that label anymore because they don't need the additional support at school. Now, while they might need the additional support privately, they don't need to be separated out from their same age peers at school. And that can be a tremendous accomplishment for the kid and for the parent when you find out that, oh, my kid doesn't need this label anymore at school. But the chances of that happening increase the earlier you get services provided. So even if you've got somebody telling you, oh, just wait it out, your kid will speak when they're ready, I always say it doesn't hurt to get the evaluation sooner, because then you get a peace of mind sometimes. Like right now I'm working with a 3-year-old, and pediatrician and school were telling parents autism spectrum. I came in, started working with the child, and just based on my initial work over a couple of sessions with the child, I was able to say, this isn't an autism spectrum, this is strictly a speech delay. And then I can work on increasing functional communication and then providing the documentation that the family needs to share with all these other people that think it's ASD. And I can be like, no, it's not ASD. And that can be just as great of news as hearing that, okay, I feel like something's going on with my child, and then finding out that, yes, something is going on, but wait, it's something we can work with. And so parents will be hesitant about that, but honestly, the earlier the services can be provided, the faster the progress is made for the child, and the sooner that support can be removed in the school system. And so your child won't have to pull out services or won't need the additional support. And I've seen kids where in preschool need a whole lot of support, but by the time they hit 1st grade or 2nd grade, are mainstreamed in a classroom with maybe a class parapro. They don't even have their own parapro anymore. It's somebody that's just an extra body in the classroom. And that's kind of cool to see that happen. But it happens because the intervention starts earlier rather than later.